continuing on where we left off, I just had to check a trade actually. So 30th of July. Yeah, there was an actual trade that was live, so I wanted to just check it. So we just had that internal to external range, which you can see quite clearly here. And now we're just looking for another level to trade, really. We have this level now. We can see we're quite bearish still. So we're just going to look to keep taking trades exactly like this. To be honest, there's literally no reason why you'd fix this. It's absolutely crap. Yes, you're going to have losses. Yes, you're going to have winning and losing losses. But as you can see, we're on a 6-win streak with this right now. So no reason to change it. Right, that's that external range just got taken already. London left highs. Daily's not been tagged. Most likely going to create a new fair value gap. Oh, bloody hell. Didn't expect that news, driver. What is this news? PMI, right, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, not going to trade right now. It's just a bit crazy. Don't really know what's going on there. Let's get to that next day. One more. Let's see what happens. Next day, what happened? We're inside that, and a new day is going to start, so that's fine. But we had an engulfing candle here. Let's pull that out one more. Continue on that 1 hour chart. See what happens. Obviously, if the level does get respected after a liquidity sweep, we can look to trade it on the new day, obviously. So we're going into London. So realistically, we'd want to probably see this Asia high, maybe this taken out because it's got relative equal highs. Then we'd need to see a respect of the daily. You see how price is sticking. And there we go. It takes both these levels, engulfing candle, perfect timing. If this runs to TP, this is going to be my new strategy because this is ridiculous. Literally, I can see what the market wanted to do, and then it prints it out how I wanted it to do it. And then, as it's been doing, is running to TP. But we'll see. I don't want to get overconfident with it, but it does seem to be absolutely fucking crapped. So yeah, entry at 11 a.m. Push price on, see what happens. And then obviously now we're coming up to that daily level. Let's see what happens there. We have respected that fair value gap again, so the trade is still valid, and we've taken the previous day's high. That high should not get broken now if we're bearish, so this is still a nice setup even overnight. Asia comes in. London starts to print lower. Again, like I said, that level should not be getting disrespected if we are indeed bearish, so I'm happy with that. Have we hit 2R yet? No, 2R's around about here. We're going to just hold that up on 2R just so we can see to go break even, as it is a little choppy. Tuesday, we're still Tuesday, so we could put in a high of the week. Let's have a look. Okay, wait a minute. Right, so we're at that level again. I'm going to check the daily again. So we have indeed we're still inside this fair value gap, so the trade is still valid. It's not invalid until that probably gets stopped. So we're just going to keep running it. Okay, so I believe that's probably the stop now. No, still not stopped. Probably would have been by spreads, to be fair. Yeah, now you are stopped. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, it was a little bit of a longer trade and it was a losing trade, but it was an educational one because the daily level did get disrespected at that point. So that's fine. This is now, obviously, that would have pulled the whole daily up. So you can see that we actually did lose and that level was our stop was perfect. So yeah, that's a good loss. And this is the thing with this strategy as well, is the losses don't feel like losses because the trade was valid. So Monday the 4th of August, 11 a.m. We need to put down that. August 4th, Monday, 11 a.m. What I want to do is actually, oh no, I can't do that because of that. Right, yeah, that's fine. New York, we tried to short. We lost, broke the winning streak, which is a shame, but still quite cool. Did we hit 1R? I think we did hit 1R. No, we didn't actually. So yeah, it did really quite linger around. It's the start of the month. We probably have NFP here. So probably so we probably have NFP. That's probably why market was lingering around. Didn't hit 1R. Why did we enter it? What was it? Engulfing candle. Yeah, 10. So the engulfing candle. It fouled. It was an engulfing candle. Cool. So we're on to the next one. Can delete that off the chart. And now I know it's NFP probably at the start of this week, so I'm not really in a rush to enter anything. Again, we leave this fair value gap here. Friday's come in. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're on to the next. So we're on to the next week now at this point, which is fine. Again, I know we've got the bearish fair value gaps, and yeah, people could say that's the swing point, that's the leg, and you're 50% up. But what I'm going to do is stick to what I've been doing throughout, which seems to be working. 4175, and I'm just going to take off the closest fair value gap, which is this one. Yeah, obviously it kind of goes against what I normally would trade, being a higher time frame based trader, but I like this, and I think this is really quite powerful. So I'm not going to really force it. If we're wrong, we're wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. So obviously we're coming into, I'm guessing, the new week. Yep, the new week, Monday. Session starts, London. We do need price to come into a level, which it does. It does it during New York. Can we get an entry on a Monday? No. So there's going to be no entry for me here on the Monday. What we can actually wait and see, though, is do we actually respect the level, which we do, as you can see. So now we can draw out our external range. And this is literally just me testing off the bat here. I really ain't sure what happens. So we got that's the high external range. Our daily level is here and it's being respected. So prices look like we want to go higher. Now, what do I look for going into the Tuesday? Well, I want to see a liquidity sweep now in the opposite direction. Like that would be a liquidity sweep. But obviously, it wasn't in the time. So now we're in London. I need to see some sort of liquidity swept. Probably be this low. It doesn't happen. Price goes up without me, and that's fine. You may get something in New York. Continuation, right? You did get a continuation in New York because this was a 1 hour fair value gap. You also have this inverted 1 hour fair value gap. So you could have taken this setup, closed above the previous hour's high. You probably could have taken this. I'm not going to journal that because I just kind of mixing up strategies. Going forward, maybe we will. But that's fine. I'm going to just have that one as a loss. The daily, or not as a loss, but a mistrade. The daily internal to external played out again, which is all I'm really trying to see here, to be honest, because I just want to continuously see what happens with this daily levels, because they seem to, like I said before, I've always seemed to have good higher time frame bias, but my entries kill me. So yeah, so that played out. We have a slight fair value gap here. I don't probably expect price to come into it. Maybe now, but definitely weren't expecting it off this candle. So what we can do is do that. What's the low? 909. Yep, so now we can just go down. And that's our closest daily internal range. See what price does going overnight. Absolutely nothing. I believe that's probably 4 o'clock. Near enough. 4 o'clock. No new fair value gap, so that would be the level. Obviously, we know that price may be having some SMT with EU or DXY as well, which we will throw in on our live. Monday comes down. Nothing for me yet. New York starts to head down towards that level. We're out of our trading times anyway here, but we are starting to push down into that daily level. So we may see a trade on this next day, on the Tuesday. We could put a Tuesday low of the week in and then have all of this upside to target. So what I'm going to do is just prep for that just in case, so that I don't move the chart forward and have to go backwards. Let's move that to external. I'm not as accurate with the external because I'm not too bothered, as it is only backtesting. So I know roughly where it is, and it's only going to be like 0.1 difference. And obviously there is no real money involved. When I'm actually trading, I will get the high like that. So it'll be 35945, and I will note that down, 35945. So I know exactly where it is. And obviously I'll probably drop it a little bit lower for spreads, etc., etc. But yeah, just off this, it doesn't have to be pinpoint. It just has to give me a basic data reading. So we're on a 1 hour. What day are we coming into? Monday. Oh, I read that wrong then. What happened there? Right, yeah, I read that wrong. We're at the start of the new week. I thought we was going into a Tuesday. Asia prints into the daily level. We need London to have a liquidity sweep of some sort, which New York then does. And it does it, but it's just too late in the day for me. Yeah, so that's the new day. Did we respect the level? We did indeed respect that fair value gap. So we can start to look the next day. We can just look for a 1 hour move, depending on how the night plays out. Again, it would still be valid in London because there is this daily level has been respected. It hasn't been invalidated yet. So yeah, so we just need a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction, which we haven't actually got yet. New York prints. And we now probably have it gone in, invalidate that setup, but there was no trade anyways. Yeah, so 4 o'clock, we've definitely gone through the daily level, which is fine. Invalidated setup, we go again, and we just start to look on the daily again for fair value gaps. And price is choppy, and I do actually recall trading this live, like day to day, and it being very choppy. I'm not really sure if there's any trades even to take, but we'll see. And even if there is, I genuinely ain't sure what way it goes. I can't remember. It was up and down like a yo-yo. So, yeah. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter because this strategy is just a little bit different. It's not majorly different. Obviously, the core concepts of what I'm doing is internal to external. That doesn't change, but the entry does and things like that. So it does change ever so slightly. So again, coming into Asia, what happens? Now London, we want to see that Asia high taken out like that. We do sweep that high and come down lower. You could enter here. I'm not going to. I would rather wait because the timings as well. 7, we still haven't had that engulfing candle. Now we do. So now we can look to short off this level. Although that's a bullish engulfing candle, so this is going to be quite cool to see what happens because I ain't actually sure. I need to journal that one as well because I'm not actually sure what we would do here. Would you still take it even though it's because it's engulfed both sides? You still expect this high to not get ran, or because it's a bullish engulfing, would you not? So we'll see. Obviously the colours doesn't matter. It just means it's taken both sides and continued up. So let's see what happens. Price is playing around. Start to get a move. Come into the overnight part now, which looks like, yeah, so it looks like we're going to get taken out, and the move may be today. I don't think we hit 2R or anything like that. We did hit 1R, but we wouldn't have gone break even. We're going break even at 2R with this strategy. So we need to journal that as a loss and probably stay away from that sort of entry. So Thursday, the 4th of September at 9 a.m. Thursday, 4th of September at 9 a.m. And yes, again, I've repeated it a million times. We know that this massive difference is you're not going to take one trade a month, but this would be multiple pairs. So if we look here, August, let's go up. We took 1, 2, 3 trades just on EG, 4 trades including that. And then with the other million pairs, you would definitely get a trade a day, most likely. Or you're at least going to get enough trades per month, pretty much, without being like looking at it with just the scope of one pair. New York, we shorted, we lost. Little losing streak, no problem. 1R did get hit. Lost, -1, -1. And it fouled. No, it hasn't fouled. And was it an engulfing? Yes, it was. So with my journaling, obviously, I'm going to keep a track if that does work. So if the engulfing candle in the opposite direction, we don't know if this actually fails yet because we still got this day here, and we are in London. So we've taken all of this highs now, or closed below. Technically speaking, we could take this trade, and I will because we're journaling and we're trading, and we're backtesting. Even I didn't mean trading. So I will take it because it does sort of still stick to the plan. We're trying to see what works better, engulfing or this sweep of the previous hour's high and close below. Let's see what happens. Price comes up and takes us out straight away. So that hasn't worked there. So we can put that as a loss. Friday the 5th. Friday. What time was that? See, what may happen now is you might actually see the proper engulfing thing. 3 a.m. And this is the good thing about trading like this is I've got all these here so I can see what works more. Engulfing looks like it's really good, and that is what the strategy that Jade Cap was showing. When I see this, this is what it was, an engulfing candle. So we can have that close in the range, see how many of them win and lose. And what we can do is just have a look to see if this happens now. Again, we get that. That's not in New York. Oh, and then New York absolutely rips to the upside. Probably NFP this was. Yeah, you wouldn't even have traded. I wouldn't even have traded here, so you can see why that probably did happen. And there's going to be no trade here. Oh, it does take both sides, but we're way above the daily fair value, so I wouldn't take it. Come into the close on the Friday, which is here. And I don't think we're going to close back inside yet. So that trade now gets invalidated. Anyway, so 1, it was NFP. 2, let me note this down. Trades taken on. Right, so that's noted down, and it did fail. And that also failed then. Yeah, so that's fine. Next setup literally is that simple. It's really quite just so easy, this strategy, and it's really nice as well. And we know that this month, like August, September, was so choppy anyways, like in real life when I traded it. So I did manage to do quite well in the end. I think I ended up making like 13% that month, passing another FTMO account and building the personal up as well. So yeah, I didn't end up trading too badly, but I know the market, like the PA was quite crap. So it's going to be a new week starting as well. So we'll see if we had any opening gaps. Nope, not really. We're just looking for that daily level. With it being a Monday, probably ain't expecting it to happen. Like any trade that is, anyways. Price comes down. We're in a new day. Let me quickly, because I need to update out otherwise. I really don't like that with TradingView. I don't like seeing it because it just sort of fakes it. No, that is still the closest daily. So we're still looking for that to be tagged. Oh, gone one too far there. See, if I click on that daily chart now, it will literally show me the whole of the day, which is really quite jarring. Still, this is the level. Again, this is now starting to be choppy, which is what I was saying before. I'm not really interested in trying to trade it like that, and I probably would be on a different pair in real time. New York started to make a move away, and there was no tag of that daily level. So, yeah, didn't tag it. May have on EU. I don't know. I think if I switch to EU, you can actually see if it did. Let's have a look. Yeah, so actually it did tag in. So yeah, there you go. That just shows why the power of SMT for me the way I use it would have worked there. But obviously, for the sake of this, we're not using all that. So yeah, and I definitely don't expect that to be getting tagged now, because it just won't. Especially if I want it to be in that direction. I want to go the other way even. So to the upside, I don't expect that to come all the way down. Makes no sense. It's still the daily level, which is a bit crap. Right, so now we finally get a new level, and that will be there. I've moved that one because that's done for me, that trade. There is no trade there for me, even if it came all the way back down. As I showed, there was EU did tag in, so there is literally no reason for it to come that far down again. It's already done it. They're closely correlated, so both pairs don't have to do the move. One tags it, you can take the entry. The XY also like that as well. Jesus Christ. What was that? Oh, a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's check the daily. That's too small of a fair value gap. I'm not touching that. Let's have a look. It did take a lot of liquidity off that move to the upside, though. So we're going to be cautious when we're entering here. Backtesting or not, I still want to make sure that it's realistic. So London does. Okay. London does, what I was going to say is London does take the last swing. This one as well. No, it doesn't. Takes this one. Closes back within the range. Rallies up higher. So that could have been a trade. Does close within the range. Probably going to want to churn all that just for the sake of it. I'm going to not put it down as a trade taken though. So Thursday the 18th of September 2025. 18th. I'm not going to have this one in my journal. And it was a 3 a.m. entry, London, long. What I'm going to do is it does win, but I don't want it to be in the data. Now, to be honest, there is no reason for it to not go in the data realistically because I would have taken it. I am taking trades like that. So, yeah, realistically, there is actually no reason for that to not go in. It's just I didn't actually pull this out. So it's a bit of cheating, but I still need the data, which is kind of more important than whether or not I would have, because in real time, I would have entered it. So do you know what? I will put it in because it needs to be journaled. I'm still going to keep that note there to I didn't enter, and I'm still going to note it down as if I did because I still want the stats. So let's see. New York does come back. I will actually take an entry. Yeah, so New York there. Let's see what happens on this candle. Comes back to break even. Okay, so there we go. So the highest R was 7.62, and we got a break even out of it. So we only got 2R. No, you got 1R in fact. So we need to note that down. Came back to BE. Highest 0.62R. Obviously, this is the thing with this, because there's such big take profits, you're probably going to smash through funding quick if you're doing challenges. So some of these would be wins because you close it less than that. You might only need 5R on the day. You don't need all this, so it count as a win. Do you know what I mean? So highest point, it came back to B. There we go. So there you go. You could just say that that's the case. What did we have? It was a close above. Close in range. There you go. Just simple notes. Just really, really cool journaling, actually. I'm really quite happy with it. What happens here? Will this daily actually get completely disrespected? So there is no level for me for the next day. Yes, it does. So that daily level got run through. So that actually fouled. So that's fine. So that's quite a few that now fouled. But like I said, this PA has been dog, and it's literally coming up till this current date. So what I'm going to try and do is got 15 minutes roughly before I want to get off. I want to try and actually get up to the current date, which ain't too far, considering I know how bad the current price action is. I don't know if there is even going to be that many trades potential setups or anything to even look at. As I said, I did actually get a few trades this in the last few months. So 5597. So yeah, there may be something, but let's have a look. So will we get the 1 hour move up? What day are we on? Oh, we're going over the weekend. Monday. Looking for that Tuesday high of the week potentially. Just make sure we haven't created a new fair value gap there lower down, which we have. And again, I'm just taking off the very first internal range that gets tagged. I don't care about the 50% and all that right now. It's not something I'm looking at. In this data, I'm definitely not trying to pull that up. So let's see what happens. Obviously, if we get into here and the 1 hour doesn't provide anything anyways and we go up, happy days. If not, then, and it does, then we trade it. So we're coming in, Asia, London. So now we need a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction, which would be that engulfing candle. Yes, it was quite a big move, but still valid. It's taken out the Asia high. We've had a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction inside a daily fair value gap, so the trade is more than valid. Can we get a 2R out of it? We can. We won't even go break even at this point. What we might do is actually go break even at 1R because the total external range is just over 2R. So let's see how it plays out. That's if it even does it. Might just run up. New York. Yeah, so we get taken out. No problem. And then again, a potential trade. So what I'm going to do is look at that entry quickly now because I can journal both at the same time and enter that as well. Very, 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 very choppy. It's actually ridiculously bad. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's 2R now on that trade. Nearly there. One more push. Yeah, so that hit 2R. So what I'm going to quickly do is journal this one because I need to know. So it was at Tuesday the 23rd of September at 5 a.m. So I wouldn't have taken that. I didn't see the time. Whoops. So I'm not going to put it in the journal because it's breaking my rules. It's not even in the journal to take. So that would be the entry there. And that is at 10 a.m., which is just perfect. So that, see what I mean? That there prevented me a loss. I need to make sure I keep an eye on that time. So yes, again, it looks like I'm cheating. I'm not. It broke the rules. I didn't see it when I actually put the chart on. So technically, I prevented myself a loss by following the rules. Because in real time, I wouldn't take that. So we're on 10 a.m. New York time on Tuesday the 23rd of September. Tuesday, 23rd September. 10 a.m. New York. Short. Win. 2R. Yes, it does. Yes, we have took 50% off. I don't know if this is it yet. We had an engulfing candle. Boom. 10 a.m. And we run in. Let's see what happens. Boom. TP gets smashed. Internal to external plays out perfectly. And it's a 3.3R return. R. Oh, I don't need to put the R. It does complete, so it's a good trade. And again, after a couple losses, we now gone on to this run here. I'm going to get to the end of GU and then stop for this session, like this session of backtesting. Yeah, so now we're on that new day. As you can see now, I just wanted to literally get this up. Boom, internal to external, and a lot of people would have waited for this 50% of the range, and this is why I don't tend to really care too much for it. I've tried, and I just don't see the point. That it doesn't come up, you get done, you miss the trade. Just take. If you lose, you can just take the next trade. You shouldn't be over leveraging anyway, so you should have more than enough. And that trade just played out really, really clean. Internal to external. Again, if we drop down to the 5-minute charts, you can literally see the market maker model play out. all I'm doing is just literally just saving the noise of these charts. So look, buy side of the curve, come up, sweep liquidity, make the structure, and then this is what I mean about saving myself the noise. So here on this day, on Tuesday the 23rd, we actually do get the break. You could have entered down here. You'd have got sat through all this chop. You would have survived it, and then bam. And what did I take it on? Tuesday the 23rd at 10 a.m. So, well, actually, to be honest, I did sit through all that chop just on a 1 hour. So there you go. You could have survived that. Well, you did survive that, nor would you expect it to get ran because of this new powerful little entry that we're finding unbelievable, this engulfing candle. So, yeah, price runs down onto the next one now. That's all done. Get up onto the daily. We're literally coming up to the current date as well now. So we can push forward. We do have that high fair value gap up there. We have this one here now. We can look to trade off. Daily fair value gap. The high is 129. And then straight onto that. Not much time left, so let's get this video done. What's this, Monday? Yep, Sunday night even. Monday comes in. We get a sweep in London. We do. Oh, that's the engulfing candle, which we'd enter off. Yes, we can still take it because we don't know if this is invalidated at this point. This could just be like the high, the wick. So we're not going to take it from there. We'll take it from there. So this is still valid. The daily level hasn't been disrespected on the daily, so we still got today to do that. If it does end up taking it out, happy days, then we just take a loss, no problem. If we don't and we come down now, we catch the whole of the move from the top of the wick. And there you go. So we got taken out, no problem. Let's move that forward. Let's get to 4 o'clock and see if we actually do disrespect the level. So we do disrespect the level on the daily, so it gets ran through. So we're going to call that, we'll take the loss. Let's journal that. So loss at, again, I wouldn't have taken it, so I need to start looking at that. I've made another mistake. I wouldn't have took the loss because I wouldn't have traded it. So I'm not going to bother journaling it. But we do disrespect the daily fair value gap, so that is now invalid. I've got that on my video, but I've got to start looking at the times. It's because I'm rushing to try and finish here. So I ain't actually looking correctly, but I wouldn't have taken the trade because it doesn't hit the timings. And that's why I have them times in there, because of that exact reason. Because it chops during that little mid-session gap, which is what's going to happen at 10 a.m. here, so 5. That's why I go gym between 5 and 7 New York time, which is 10 and 12 in the UK. It's exactly why I've always done it. All my strategies are based on that same timing being correct. So now we'll probably look for this level and this level to be ran in the New York session, which it does. We need that daily level tagged into though. Let's have a look. Well, I know we're approaching it, but did we? Yeah, so we're approaching it. We haven't tagged into it yet. Again, you may have EU tagged into it, and this might not now, but for the journaling sake, we're only sticking to this. New day starts. Let's see, Asia, boom, and now we tag it. Now we go up higher. Oh, nearly engulfed, didn't, so we're not going to take that. Close below, we could trade it. We wouldn't because of the timings. So see, now I've actually looked at PMI as well in the afternoon, which is going to cause a bit of an upset. Boom, look at that. That's not even at PMI yet. There's my notification for the gym. And again, it don't look like there's anything here. Or potentially now. Let's see how this daily closes. One more hour. We close inside? We do close inside on the daily range. Okay. So going into Thursday, boy, it's all this news though. PMI again, FMOC, a lot of news. So we are going to obviously journal it. And we're coming into October now as well. So this is literally where we're at, near enough in the month. This is still valid because on the daily it hasn't been overrun, so it's fine. So we can literally just continue to print price forward, and we'll just be looking for liquidity sweep now in London. It does have a liquidity sweep. It doesn't give us any candles for entry. It runs through the FVG as well, so there's nothing there for me. Price absolutely rallies to the downside, which is quite cool to see. The external range is all the way down there, so it's more than in sync. And the daily level has probably been completely respected at this point. I think that's 4 o'clock. Yeah, so now we can look at the daily, and we've respected that level really cleanly. The PA is arse in October, so I really ain't sure what even happened here because I haven't even been looking at GU. I've been trading futures. So we are going to trade it as if we would in real life. Going into the next day, we're just going to look for a sweep now in the opposite direction, so taking out Asia or the closest liquidity range. So here it would be that Asia high and that other swing point there. We're inside that. We ain't got any engulfing candle yet. Nothing for me. New York. Again, nothing for me. And then, is that the last day? Yes, it was. That's a bit annoying because we've now seen that. Still the daily level got respected, so we can actually just print on to the next day. No, it comes up because this is that one that's printed out. So we can just continue. That level's still respected, so it can still go lower, which is fine. So we can still look for shorts. Again, there was no liquidity sweep in the opposite direction, so there's no trade. New York. Again, no liquidity sweep in the opposite direction. No sessions or anything like that being taken. No engulfing candle either. On to the next day here. Gone one too far. So again, as I'm going to show, this is what I mean about the daily didn't get taken. Look, it's still respected that level. Look how the resistance is showing there. And obviously this bearish candle is showing that we could still go lower even now, which we're really starting to get close to the actual current daytime. Asia, so we just need a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction, so the Asia level potentially. Okay, that's a nice move down. Again, you could potentially have taken this actually. FMOC. So what you could have done is obviously you've seen these levels all get taken and we close below. So we're just looking for continuation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to journal that because I would have entered there. It is the last hour as well. Stops above this inside the fair value gap, which is perfect. We have the target down here. We get 2R. Not yet. Print price out just to see what happens. Yeah, we hit 2R, so we can journal that as well. So this is a trade on Wednesday the 8th of October at 11 a.m. Wednesday the 8th of October, 11 a.m. New York, short, win, 2R. We do take 50% off. The overall return is, let's see what happens. Got FMOC. And the whole trade gets done. Obviously, depending on your spreads there, you probably would have got taken out, to be honest. Maybe not, just nearly a whole pip. And on GU, you're normally only like 1 or 2 points. So yeah, and then obviously you've seen here as well, we didn't take any Asia high on the Thursday to trade, but we did sweep liquidity here, and you could have taken a trade down lower. So again, that would be a lovely trade, but we're in this one, and we'll run that 5.3 RR completed. 3 complete. And what was it? It wasn't engulfing, was it? No, it was a close below and a continuation, which is what I'm going to put in. Close below 1 hour high inside. Like that. Boom. Let's open that up just a tad more so that the writing's in the box. And that's that near enough. I would probably presume that's not going to be much more. Oh, let me pull it back up. Delete this so I can show the daily and how it reacted from the internal to the external. And I think I did actually take this trade, to be honest. It's ringing bells. Next day, price didn't leave a fair value gap. And then this is where, yeah, and we're on current day, and this is where price is just chopping. Look, so yeah, really, really clean. Some good data there. We're up to the current day, so we've finished trading that now. What we can do is actually, let's copy that and put that in down the bottom here. So we have the exact same. And let's do the return. So what did we gain? What did we not gain? Right, so on 2R, we got 12R again, which is a bit mad because it's literally the same. That's kind of crazy. And then on this, we got a total of 32 point, fucking hell, man. 32.41R. That's fucking ridiculous, mate, honestly. Jesus fucking Christ, man. So if you'd have traded both these pairs, just these two pairs, you'd be 50 something up, or up. That is fucking craziness. It's definitely going to be my new trading style. Like, it's exactly the same as our trade, just without the lower time frame. It really is. We took 5 winning rows, 4 losses in 5 in a loss row, 6 wins in a row. So we've got 6 wins, 5 losing streak. And look at that, we're 24 are up just even on that. Literally 56% win rate. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's craziness, man. It's actually crazy. It's fucking unbelievable. It's unbelievable stats. And yeah, that's the end of that video. Yeah, I'm just gobsmacked still, to be honest.